Lego, Batman, what's not to like? Ever since I was a kid, like all little boys, I just wanted to be able to say,
I'm Batman.
so I busted out the old credit card and splurged for this expensive as heck title. But after 4 hours of gameplay, I have buyer's remorse. This will be a spoiler-free first impressions review to help you figure out if the game's actually worth your money, because not everyone is as rich as Bruce Wayne. Let's start out by talking about the good things I see here, because there are quite a few. Firstly, it feels like a fresh take on the Arkham series, through and through. It captures that exact vibe to me. The combat controls, identical. The gadgets, familiar. The movement, the vehicles, the glider, it's all there. It is just an Arkham experience in Lego form, which in a lot of ways is a huge plus. Lego has some good comedy in their titles and really brings a unique spin to the genre. Also, because of that, there is couch co-op. Now, I played alone because
I'm not really a people person.
but the option is there if you want it. And if you can't find anyone to play with, well, the mechanics kind of force you to try out new characters anyways, so more crime fighting for you, I guess. Personally, I love the original Arkham trilogy, so this was the highlight for me. It is a ton of fun returning to that universe. Secondly, the graphics are good. I don't really know how to say this, and I know people are going to roast me in the comments and be like, bro, it's literally plastic blocks. But when I first opened it up, my jaw kind of dropped that it looked so good. Maybe it is because I haven't played a Lego game in years, but my expectations were pretty low in this department, so I was pleasantly surprised. And finally, there is a lot of content to this game. It is a prologue plus 6 chapters. Each chapter is pretty long too, and there is a fair amount to do even outside those levels. Now, I would say the open world is kind of pseudo open world. It doesn't feel very alive, but there are little things to do here and there to keep you entertained. Especially for like a kid playing this, they could sink many hours into the world exploring, getting collectibles, and doing the story. Moving on to the not so good things. Now, I want to start out by saying the game babies you, like ridiculously so. I should have realized that it would happen when the first screen you see when you open up the game is literally asking you your age. Side note, my age wasn't even on it, so that is something my therapist is going to have to deal with. But regardless, the tutorial was way too long. It must have been at least an hour long. I genuinely wanted to uninstall and refund everything right there and then. I understand this might be made for kids, but at least give me the option to skip it. There was zero option to. Just ask me if I have played an Arkham game, I can say yes, and we can both move on with our lives. And then even once I finally made it through the introduction, they were still throwing more tutorials at me. I have completed the prologue, chapter 1, and around halfway through chapter 2 right now, and I'm still getting hit with more tutorials. Just let me play the game. Also, while on the topic of babying you, the game is ridiculously easy. If you like a challenge, this might bore you. I am not good at video games. I am old with slow reflexes. But even I had to put the difficulty on the highest for any sort of minimal challenge. I think they really need to add a higher setting here, otherwise people will just get bored. Now moving on to performance, I know there's been a lot of discussion about this. Now, I played this game on PC with a 5080, which I recognize is a very good setup, yet I was still seeing some frame drops. Overall, I was able to play it pretty smoothly with DLSS enabled, but coming in and out of cutscenes, sometimes the game would dip to 30 FPS, which is pretty unacceptable for a goddamn Lego game. I can only imagine how this game holds up on consoles. I also want to mention while talking about performance that I hit some minor bugs while playing, like subtitles not going away, or it's showing controls for keyboard when I was using a controller, but nothing too major to write home about. At least nothing completely game breaking. But okay, all this to be said, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the price. This game is expensive, like AAA game expensive. However, I wouldn't really say this feels like a AAA title. Arkham Knight came out in 2015. And now, I recognize I haven't played that in a while, but I would not really say this version of the Arkham series adds a lot to the formula. It is pretty much just a Lego skin over an Arkham game. I don't think that warrants the premium price tag. I could just go back and play Arkham Knight for a third of the cost. I cannot, in good conscience, recommend buying this because the price point is way too high for what it is. And again, to be clear, this game is a ton of fun. It's just not a AAA game. My advice would be to wait a couple months for a massive sale on the game and scoop it up then. Because it is worth it, just not at this price. Now that's just my opinion. But if you have played it, how are you liking it? Has it lived up to the hype? I would love to hear your opinions. Leave a comment below. If this review helped you out, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next one.